It's May 1st, 2026. Let's see what the latest research is telling us. A blood test for p-tau217 can predict Alzheimer's risk years before any symptoms appear. The p-tau217 blood test identifies people at risk for Alzheimer's well before symptoms begin. This non-invasive approach could enable earlier interventions and better study participant selection. It builds on prior biomarker work with stronger predictive performance in asymptomatic people. The test could support earlier interventions for those identified as high risk. Improving the selection of participants for clinical studies is another key benefit. Stronger performance in people without symptoms makes this test particularly valuable. Earlier identification might lead to better outcomes through timely actions. The non-invasive blood test avoids the discomfort of more invasive diagnostic procedures. This could make widespread screening more feasible in the future. The p-tau217 blood test offers a promising way to identify Alzheimer's risk long before symptoms. It allows for earlier monitoring and potential preventive measures. This could transform how we approach the disease by focusing on at-risk populations in clinical studies. It builds on previous biomarker research but provides better predictive power in asymptomatic individuals. Researchers are now considering integration into routine health screenings. Such a step could influence treatment development timelines in important ways. The shift toward at-risk populations might change research priorities going forward. What to watch next is how this test integrates into routine health screenings and influences treatment development timelines. While new tests are sharpening our view of disease risk, another line of research is questioning the fixed rules of biology itself. Researchers have engineered biological systems that function without isoleucine, one of the 20 standard amino acids. The work enabled by generative AI shows the genetic code is not fixed and can be altered. This opens routes to organisms with modified biochemistry for various applications. Safer gene therapies represent one potential use of this technology. More efficient biological manufacturing is another promising area. The finding demonstrates that life can operate with fewer than the usual amino acids. Generative AI played a key role in designing these altered biological systems. The systems were created to function effectively even after removing isoleucine from the standard set. Now, here's something most people get wrong about the fundamentals of biology. You've probably heard that all living organisms rely on the same 20 amino acids to build proteins. In fact, this standard set has been a constant since the earliest forms of life. But new research shows it doesn't have to stay that way. Right now, as you listen, the cells in your body are using these 20 amino acids to construct everything from enzymes to structural proteins. There is no variation in the core set. One memorable number is that there are 20 standard amino acids, yet scientists have now engineered a system where life can function with just 19 by making isoleucine unnecessary. This breakthrough enabled by generative AI challenges the idea that the genetic code is fixed and unchangeable. It opens the possibility of creating organisms with expanded or altered biochemistry for specific purposes. The practical takeaway is to watch for how this technology might be applied to create safer gene therapies. It could also lead to more efficient biological manufacturing in the coming years. Understanding this could help in designing life forms resistant to certain diseases or environmental stresses. It reminds us that what we consider fundamental in biology can sometimes be redesigned with the right tools. These findings show how new tools in diagnostics and synthetic biology are expanding what we can measure and engineer. From redesigning life's core components, we turn to an unexpected effect observed in a medication already used for other conditions. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled study, semaglutide lowered alcohol consumption in participants with alcohol use disorder. The participants had a body mass index over 30. This marks the first randomized evidence of this effect in treatment-seeking individuals. Semaglutide is the active compound in Ozempic. The reduction in alcohol use was observed compared to those on placebo. The trial provides new insights into potential additional benefits of this medication. It was conducted among people already seeking help for their alcohol use disorder. The study was published in The Lancet. This randomized trial adds credibility to observations about semaglutide and alcohol consumption. Next time, we'll be watching for further details on how the p-tau217 blood test could be applied in clinical settings. We may also see more on the applications of these AI-designed biological systems in manufacturing and therapy development. That's Planetterrian Daily for today. If you enjoyed this, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. This podcast is curated by Patrick but generated using AI voice synthesis of my voice using ElevenLabs. The primary reason to do this is I unfortunately don't have the time to be consistent with generating all the content and wanted to focus on creating consistent and regular episodes for all the themes that I enjoy, and I hope others do as well.